AiTA for telling my sister it's her fault that she's getting divorced and has no friends? I, 29F, have a sister, Sarah, 33F, who is going through a very difficult time in her life. Sarah is in the process of getting divorced from her husband, Mark, 35M, and she's also lost most of her friends over the past few years. I've always tried to be supportive, but recently things came to a head, and now I'm questioning whether I crossed a line. A little background, Sarah and I have always had a complicated relationship. Growing up, she was always the more outgoing and popular one. She had lots of friends and was always the center of attention. I was more introverted and preferred a smaller circle of close friends. Despite our differences, we were close and supported each other through various ups and downs. Sarah married Mark about 8 years ago. In the beginning, they seemed like the perfect couple. But over time, things started to change. Sarah became increasingly controlling and demanding, not just with Mark but with everyone around her. She would criticize Mark for the smallest things, belittle him in front of others, and generally make life difficult for him. She also started losing friends because of her behavior. She would get into petty arguments, hold grudges, and always blame others for any issues that arose. I tried talking to her about it several times, but she would always dismiss me, saying I didn't understand her situation or that I was taking other people's sides. Our relationship became strained, but I still tried to be there for her as much as I could. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, Sarah called me in tears. She told me that Mark had filed for divorce and that she didn't know what to do. She was devastated and couldn't understand why he would leave her. I listened to her and offered my support, but inside, I couldn't help but think about all the times I had seen her treat him poorly. A few days later, we had a family gathering. Sarah was there, and she spent most of the time complaining about how unfair everything was and how everyone was against her. She went on about how Mark was a terrible husband and how her friends had all betrayed her. I tried to stay out of it, but eventually, she turned to me and asked why I wasn't saying anything. I took a deep breath and told her that maybe she needed to take a look at her own behavior and how it might have contributed to her current situation. I told her that I had seen how she treated Mark and that it wasn't fair to him. I also mentioned that her attitude and behavior might be the reason why her friends had distanced themselves from her. Sarah exploded. She accused me of being unsupportive, of taking Mark's side, and of being a terrible sister. She stormed out of the gathering, and I haven't heard from her since. Our parents are furious with me, saying that I should have been more understanding and supportive. They think I was too harsh and that I should apologize to Sarah. Now I'm questioning whether I handled the situation correctly. On one hand, I feel like someone needed to tell her the truth, but on the other hand, I hate that I've hurt her and caused more drama in our family. I didn't want to make things worse, but I also didn't want to keep enabling her behavior. So, viewers, AiTA for telling my sister it's her fault that she's getting divorced and has no friends? Should I apologize and try to mend things with her, or did she need to hear the hard truth? Any advice or insights would be greatly appreciated.